Who in your family drains your peace the moment they walk in the room? At some point after 60, you start realizing it's not strangers who exhaust you. It's the people who share your last name. When you were younger, you had the energy to tolerate gossip, criticism, and manipulation. You told yourself, that's just how family is. But once you reach 70, something inside you changes. You begin to crave peace more than approval, quiet more than company, and honesty more than forced love. And that's when you must decide which relationship still deserves space in your life. In this video, we'll talk about 6 types of relatives you must keep at a distance after 60, or risk losing your peace, your confidence, and even your health. Each one may seem harmless at first, but over time, their behavior drains your emotional strength and makes aging feel heavier than it should. By the end, you'll see that protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's wisdom, because at this stage of life, peace of mind isn't just comfort, it's survival. Now, let's get started. Number 1, the constant critic. Every family has one, the relative who never misses a chance to correct, compare, or belittle you. They disguise their criticism as concern, but what they really want is control. When you were younger, their comments may have rolled off your back, but as you age, those same words hit differently. They echo, they stick. The constant critic might tell you how to spend your retirement, how to eat, how to dress, or even how to manage your health, always under the pretense of helping. But here's the truth. It's not help when it steals your peace. It's manipulation. At 70, your mind becomes more sensitive to emotional stress. Every sharp word raises your blood pressure, drains your confidence, and slowly turns family gatherings into emotional battlefields. Criticism isn't harmless when your heart beats faster just thinking about seeing them. I once knew a man named Robert, 78 years old, who stopped visiting his sister after every lunch ended in her saying, "You've gained weight again, haven't you?" He told me, "I realized I wasn't visiting family anymore. I was volunteering for pain." The moment he stopped going, he said something strange happened. "I didn't lose weight," he said, "but I started sleeping better. I started laughing again." The critic thrives on your reaction. They feed off your discomfort because it reminds them they still have influence over you. But the secret is, once you stop reacting, their power disappears. You don't have to argue or explain. You simply stop attending their theater of judgment. This stage of life is not about proving who you are to others. It's about protecting who you've become. And if silence is what keeps your spirit calm, then silence is what you owe yourself. Number 2, the financial leech. This relative doesn't visit out of love. They visit out of need. They show up with kind smiles and softer voices, but beneath it all is a single mode of money. Whether it's a small loan, a temporary favor, or just until things get better, they see your kindness as a bank with no closing hours. At first, helping them might make you feel useful, even proud. You've worked hard all your life, and sharing a little feels good. But it rarely ends there, because the leech never takes once. They take repeatedly. They return again and again until generosity turns into guilt and family into business. When you're in your 70s, your finances are not just numbers. They are your security, your healthcare, and your independence. Each time you lend money out of obligation, you're not just losing cash. You're losing control over your peace of mind. Financial stress in later years can affect your sleep, your health, and even your memory, and no amount of family loyalty is worth that cost. I remember a woman named Helen, 74, who had a nephew that always needed a little help. Over the years, her savings quietly disappeared. "I didn't notice it at first," she told me, "but when I needed hearing aids, I realized I couldn't afford them. He'd borrowed my comfort." She never stopped loving him, but she finally said no. "That was the first night I slept through till morning," she said. "Saying no doesn't mean you've stopped caring. It means you've stopped enabling. You've earned the right to live without the burden of someone else's poor choices. If they truly loved you, They would never make you feel guilty for protecting what you've built. Remember this. You worked for decades to earn your stability. You don't owe anyone access to it. Your compassion is not an open wallet, it's a choice. And after 70, it must include yourself. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 3, the guilt tripper. This one hides behind emotional language. They don't take your money or criticize your choices. They take your peace through guilt. Every conversation becomes a reminder of what you owe, what you should have done, or how much they've sacrificed for you. Their power lies not in anger, but in disappointment. And as we age, disappointment cuts deeper than shouting ever could. You know the type. They might say, "You never visit anymore," or "You used to care more." Sometimes they remind you of things from decades ago, times you couldn't attend a wedding, or moments you spoke your truth instead of what they wanted to hear. They use memory as a weapon and your empathy as the wound. After 70, guilt is one of the most dangerous emotions you can carry. It keeps your heart heavy and your body tense. It makes you replay old stories instead of writing new ones, and that's how the guilt tripper wins. Not because they control you, but because they keep you stuck in emotional debt. I remember a man named Samuel, 81 years old, who told me his daughter always said, "If Mum was still alive, she'd be so disappointed in you." He said those words aged him more than any illness. One day, he finally replied, "Then let her rest and let me live." That was the day he began to heal. Guilt trippers depend on your kindness. They know you value family. They know you care, and they twist that love into leverage. But here's the truth. You don't owe your peace to anyone. The past is over, and you've already paid your share. You can love someone deeply and still protect your boundaries. You can forgive them and still limit your time with them. Emotional freedom doesn't mean abandoning family. It means refusing to carry their burdens as your own. Remember this. Peace doesn't come from fixing everyone else's feelings. It comes from honoring your own. When you release the guilt, you don't lose family. You gain yourself back. Number 4, the drama maker. This relative thrives on chaos. If peace is a quiet garden, they're the ones stomping through it just to make sure everyone notices them. They turn small misunderstandings into full-blown conflicts, spread gossip disguised as concern, and somehow always make themselves the victim. No matter who got hurt, at 70, drama doesn't just irritate you, it drains your life force. Stress chemicals rise, your sleep suffers, your heart races longer than it should. Yet the drama maker loves this energy because it feeds their need to feel important. They've likely spent years using conflict as a way to control attention. And for someone seeking peace in later life, that's poison in disguise. They might start sentences with, "I don't want to stir anything but," or "You didn't hear it from me but," and before you know it, they've turned two cousins against each other or made you feel guilty for something that never even happened. The damage they cause isn't always visible. It's emotional erosion, one conversation at a time. I once met a woman named Judith, 76, who said, "Whenever my sister calls, I can feel my peace slipping away before I even pick up." She'd spend hours replaying those conversations, her chest tight and her energy gone. Then one day, she simply stopped answering every call. "It's strange," she said, "but silence healed me faster than talking ever did." The drama maker often confuses attention with love. They think if they're at the center of chaos, they matter. But as you grow older, you realize peace matters more than performance. The best way to protect yourself isn't confrontation, it's distance. Don't fight their storm, simply walk out of it. You'll know you're doing the right thing when quiet begins to feel natural again. Your mornings will return to calm. Your heart will stop racing for reasons you can't explain. And you'll understand that sometimes love means stepping away before the noise takes your health with it. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5, the emotional vampire. This is the relative who always turns every conversation into a therapy session for them. They never ask how you are because they're too busy talking about how hard their life is. They complain about their job, their spouse, their health, and somehow expect you to absorb it all like an emotional sponge. At first, you listen out of love. You nod, you comfort, you reassure. But after each call, you feel oddly empty, as if their pain has taken the place of your peace. That's the mark of an emotional vampire. They don't steal money or spread drama. They drain energy. And at your age, that energy is precious. Emotional exhaustion is just as real as physical fatigue. When your mind is overloaded with other people's negativity, your immune system weakens, your sleep worsens, and even your joy begins to fade. You start walking slower, thinking slower, smiling less. Not because you're old, but because someone else's darkness has been sitting on your shoulders for too long. I once met a woman named Carol, 79, who told me she spoke to her niece every morning. It started as support, she said, but soon it became a daily disaster report. Every call ended with me feeling smaller. One day she told her niece, "I love you, but I can't carry both our lives." It was the hardest sentence she ever spoke, but within weeks she said, "My mornings feel like sunshine again." You see, compassion has boundaries. You can care deeply without sacrificing your peace. You can listen without absorbing. You can love someone and still say, "Not today." Emotional vampires are not always bad people. They're just people who never learned how to manage their own storms. But that doesn't mean you must live in the rain with them. If you find yourself dreading certain calls, take that as a sign. Protecting your mental space doesn't make you selfish. It makes you wise, because when you guard your energy, you protect your health, your happiness, and your ability to give love freely to those who truly deserve it. Number 5. Shocks most people because it's rarely talked about. Yet for many older adults, it's the silent reason behind chronic fatigue, anxiety, and emotional burnout. Your peace is sacred now, and no one, not even family, should drain it without your permission. Number 6. The pretender. This is the relative who wears the mask of kindness but hides resentment underneath. They smile in front of you, speak politely at family dinners, and even call you dear. But behind closed doors, they twist your words, mock your choices, and spread small bits of poison disguised as concern. The pretender is dangerous because they're subtle. They don't argue openly. They erode quietly. They may say things like, "We worry about you living alone," or "Everyone's talking about how you've changed." But their goal isn't connection. It's control through doubt. They want you to question your worth, your memory, or even your sanity. And over time, their disguised hostility becomes emotional corrosion. When you're in your 70s or 80s, you begin to notice the energy shift around people. Some leave you lighter, others leave you tense. The pretender always leaves you unsettled, but you can't quite explain why. That's your intuition warning you. Listen to it, because intuition becomes sharper with age, not weaker. I remember a man named Frank, 82, who said his cousin always complimented him, but in strange ways. "You look great for your age," or "You still remember so much." He laughed it off for years, but one day he realized that every compliment came wrapped in an insult. I was letting him age me faster than time itself, Frank said. When he finally stopped answering his cousin's calls, he told me, "My mind cleared like a sky after rain." Pretenders stay in families for decades because they're socially skilled. They play nice around others so that if you ever speak up, you seem like the problem. That's why you must trust yourself. Peace doesn't need to be justified. If someone leaves you drained, uneasy, or self-doubting every time you see them, that's reason enough to create distance. You owe no explanations. Your happiness is not public property. You can love them from afar, pray for them quietly, and still never invite them into your emotional space again. Boundaries are not walls, they're gates, and you have every right to close them when someone keeps leaving garbage at your doorstep. At this stage of life, the greatest luxury isn't money, it's emotional safety. Surround yourself only with people who make you feel safe to be yourself, not those who make you shrink. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Final thoughts. As we grow older, something remarkable happens. We begin to see people for who they truly are, not who we wish they were. And that clarity, though painful at times, is freedom. The truth is, family doesn't always mean peace. Some relatives nourish your soul, others quietly drain it. What matters most after 70 isn't keeping every relationship alive, it's keeping your spirit alive. You've earned the right to choose peace over obligation, silence over conflict, and distance over discomfort. Every moment of your remaining years deserves to be shared with people who make you laugh, not those who make you defend your worth. The family you need now isn't necessarily the one you were born into. It's the one you build through love, respect, and calm connection. If any of these 6 types of relatives sound familiar, take it as permission not to hate them, but to protect yourself. Emotional boundaries are not acts of cruelty. They are acts of survival. It's not selfish to step away. It's sacred to guard the peace you've waited your entire life to earn. And maybe, just maybe, letting go of the wrong people is how you finally make space for the right ones. People who make your later years lighter, warmer, and full of quiet joy. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.